What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video here. And then inside this video, we're going to go over the roadmap that Neverwinter has released regarding what's going to go on with the game leading up to Mod 21 in the middle of next year. So most of you guys know Chris Whiteside is taking over, basically leading Neverwinter in the devs into this direction with the CPD and the community streams that he's doing. I think it's a step in the right direction. Do I think it's going to work out? I don't know yet, but I'm kind of anxious to see how it unfolds. I'm anxious to see what kind of impact he has on this game and if he can bring it back from the depths of hell for where it's been for the last year and a half since Mod 16. So with that being said, the first thing that pops out to me in this is scaling here. According to this, then again, everything is subject to change. You're probably going to hear me say that a lot. But come June, there's going to be a scaling system evolution. Now, I've watched and listened to the 2-hour dev stream from the other day to gather most of the information that I possibly can to put inside this video. So basically what one of the devs said is, if you are already capped at a particular stat, if you go to a lower level, that if the cap was 60,000 armor pen, that you will be scaled down to 60,000 armor pen well enough to kill the enemies with ease, along with the other stats. Again, HP, power, certain stats have no cap, but the stats that matter, that are capped, will be scaled down to that particular cap for that particular level. To me, I think this is a good idea. I don't know from that idea to where it is now. I don't know what's the difference, but how he explained it in the video makes sense. So I'm anxious to see how this works. I'm anxious, probably of everything in this whole entire list of the scaling, because scaling's been a problem since Mod 16, since they've decided to, one, scale everything back so no one likes to do any old content, and two, they took out all the buffs. But a lot of things in this are very vague, and as always, Neverwinter fashion, they have kind of like give us the information that they want to give us and not what we ask for. So if you guys want to if you guys want to see that stream, I will link it in the description below to Nova's channel. He really didn't have much to say. I wouldn't say he was the outcast of the group, but most of the other ones talk to each other every day, and Noah's kind of like console, and like, to me, they don't do console justice with content, with exposure, with all that stuff. So with all the group buffs and the nerfing, the clear times are already down for the dungeons. So I would like to see them go back to where it was. I don't think they will, but me personally, I have this list. I'm anxious to see what they do with scaling. And not only that, like when you're playing this game and there's underdeveloped people and you're an OP character, those people want to, I don't want to sound cliche, but they want to be as powerful as you in the game. So what is that going to do? Is going to have them play the game more. It's going to have them spend more money. It's a win-win in my eyes to take out scaling in general. But again, I don't think they're going to do that. The next big thing is the Siege rework. The Neverwinter Siege has been the same for years now. It's been one of the Neverwinter Siege has been out for quite some time. It was one of the first events they have ever released. So it hasn't been touched, from what I know of, since then. So they've made it clear that some of these things and this roadmap is to give new, medium, and in-game players all the same experience. So the next big thing is Mod 19. As you see here, it's released in June. The Sage of Zerial, Avernus, whatever you want to call it. From what I understand, this was supposed to be slotted for the end of this year, the beginning of next year. Why it's coming out this early, I have no idea. But if it's coming out this soon and it's underdeveloped and it's going to be pushed out, hopefully it doesn't have bugs and it's not as clunky as the mods before. So the previous 2 or 3 mods have been a reskin of whatever, the Stronghold, Protector's Enclave, Cholt, and it really hasn't felt like a module. So hopefully, and he's made it clear, that was the first thing he said he was going to do, was release less modules, but the modules that they're going to release are filled with content, and it's new experiences. It's not a reskin map and little progression and no boons and all that stuff. So if that's the case, if you're going to release 2 mods per year, one in the beginning, one in the middle of the year, I'm okay with that, as long as it's an actual module. I don't want another Acquisitions Incorporated where you have to do the basement quest to get your weekly haul done. So the stuff coming out of this not just this year, but going into 2021, going into Mod 21, please let it be polished. From what I understand, there's no big bug going into Tower of the Mad Mage, but I could be wrong. So if you guys know why this is coming out so soon, let me know in the comments below. And if my facts are wrong on this, please, again, let me know. So as I stated earlier, I sat through the 2-hour stream today and yesterday, and what they've said is Summer Festival and the yearly celebration are probably going to be the same as always. I don't care about the Summer Festival. I know a lot of people played it for the Saha balls and for the mithril tickets and for the consumables that go along with it. I really haven't partaked in a lot of these events, like the Siege, like the Masquerade of Liars, like I haven't partaked in Winter Festival in a couple years, besides popping gifts, because that's what it's all about. So hopefully that they do something. I'm not expecting it as big as what year 5 was, but change a little bit. Even if it's just the slightest thing, change a little bit, and everything will be okay. So for September, we have a Profession Masterwork recipes. Me personally, I would take advantage of this now. I would go ahead and get your influence. With the Masquerade of Lies and the Winter Festival ending in 2020, I would really like to see them rework it into new companions or new transmods. I would love it. Also, you can switch up the 2 contest teams. They've switched up the one this year. I would love them to switch them up again next year to give us some more flair with participating in this event. For the Winter Festival, there should be something more than popping gifts. That is what we do when the Winter Festival comes. We get a group, we pop gifts for hours and hours and hours, get a bunch of scarves and transmods and some Prez wards, and we go on about our business. There should be more. There should be actual stuff to do, actual events going on, other than just standing around and clicking left on the D-pad to activate your gift. With the new achievement system, I really don't care too much for that. I have most of the achievements to begin with, and that is something that probably should be put on the back burner, but they're putting it in this just to put it in this, I think. Another big surprise coming in January, along with the new mod drop. Again, there's no actual dates. It's just around about when this is coming out. So January, quarter 1, big surprise, new mod. Why not bring out a new class with it? It's a win-win for them. It's getting people in the game. It's getting a fresh start, a fresh year under Chris Whiteside. And to me, it's long overdue for the class. The last thing I think we had was Paladin, and that's been quite some time. They've preached before that they wanted to fix the current classes before they introduced another one, and had to fix that one. But they're constantly changing, and they're constantly nerfing and fixing and adding and whatever to each class as it is. So just throw another class in there, let us play it, let us feel like we're doing something different, because not much has changed in this game in the last 2.5 years. The new event, they've said in the dev stream the other day that they aren't bringing back, well, let me rephrase that. They have no idea when they're going to release the Tales of the Old. Me personally, I don't think that's a good idea. A lot of people participated in Tales of the Old for the journals and the pages, and if you're going to take that out, allow us to get those journals and pages some other way. They've also hinted that, like, how the Hell Pit market was, how it was released a couple times a year. You participated in that, you got the currency, and you bought what you wanted. I would like to see that somehow in the Masquerade of Lies and or the Tales of the Old, but they said that they wanted to see how that worked and how that played out in the community before they released anything else like that. I think it was a good change. It allowed people to get Cold Wards, Prez Wards, Legendary Signias, Legendary Mount, and it gets people back in the game. And that's what you want to do. You want to get people on this game. The more people you get on this game, the more people are going to buy and spend, and so on and so forth. Just like how they did with Hell Pit and the completion token for Hell Pit behind that paywall. I'm sure there's plenty of people who bought that with actual money just to have more currency. So ending Q1, Q2 of next year, the new story arc for this, they've kind of like said that they're going to release like episodes, like the module 19 starts, and then this week you get this, and then this month you get this, and then this month you get this, and then this month you get this, and it's kind of drawn out 4 months or so. I think that's a good idea. That's something they should have did with Undermountain, because in the actual D&D world, tabletop D&D, there's a lot of content behind Undermountain, and they kind of threw it into a module and a half and allowed us to get all the content that way. Me personally, I would have gave it the tortoise paste and released one layer at a time, one layer at a time, one layer at a time. You got enough weekly currency to unlock the next dungeon, unlock the next floor of the 20 floors that is associated with Undermountain. But they just released it all in a module and a half and gave us that lump sum content. This Avernus is going to be the first time we see this, to my knowledge, how they're going to do like the modules and episodes. We'll see how that plays out. I don't want to give my opinion because I don't know too much. And if Chris used this in the previous games that he's been under, I don't know. So big surprises coming. I would love to see a new class. There's 3 that's slotted in this. Hopefully 1 is a new class. Hopefully 1 is a rework of the current classes to make people feel like there's some diversity in your class, because it's kind of, the cookie cutter is more prevalent now than it was before, and they complain that before mod 16 that everyone ran the same thing and everyone did the same thing and everyone ran the same Paragon and there wasn't no diversity. That's couldn't be further from the truth. The DC, for example, there was an Arbiter, and there was the DO, and there was a DC, and there was the ACDC. And that worked. Yeah, you had some groups that ran 2 DCs, one for the 20% debuff and one for the Anointed Army. Again, 1 class, 2 roles. They should go back to that. I know they're trying that with the barb, but it's really not taking. I know there is some tank barbs out there that are doing very well, but when you think of a barbarian, you're not thinking of a tank. So I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want to know more about this, check out the dev stream. I will link that in the description below. You guys have a nice day.